Good morning and welcome to Sew Like a Pro. I am always looking to learn and to do something different. I went to the quilting show in Rosemont this past spring and got inspired to do quilts. They have humongous wall hangings which are just art, so beautiful, so inspiring. I always want to make a quilt, but I'm a fast sewer. I don't want to sew something that just take a year to get it finished. So I went and looked online and I found inspirations. Quilt. I thought that was just beautiful, inspiring, amazing. So what I discovered is that each of these squares is like a pixel. If you use like some graph paper and count those squares, you can design what you want. I wanted an 18-inch square. I don't want to do no teeny weeny little 1-inch squares. 18. So I counted an 18-inch finished square so I can make a pillow. So I counted each of these as a pixel, or 1 inch is on a graph, 1 inch whatever. I counted 8. So I took my 18-inch finished pillow and divided by 8 squares, and then I came up with this. Look at that. 18 inches finished. So I want to teach you how to do your quilt on steroids. We're going to make this happen really quick. So again, I want to just try 18. You can do 18. You can do 20. You can do 50. Whatever you want to do for your square. So this is 3 squares to get this finished square. It's 9 all together. I wanted 18 inches. So I went 18 divided by 3 gave me a 6-inch square. So I take and figure out which fabrics, these are my fabrics, represent the colors on this graph chart. So my pattern is going to be my turquoise, my white is going to stay my white, my purple is going to be my blue. So in order for me to get this pattern, I want to start with my blue. And this ruler I just had sidebar. This ruler going to give you all your angles. It's going to make sure everything is true and lined up and square. This is the just perfect dream ruler for quilting. And some young lady, I can't even remember her name, years ago, she gave me this mat. The mat is perfect. It got squares. You can use your rotary cutter to cut your squares. And if you pick a fabric, if you look on the edge of the fabric, it's going to give you a chart with all the colors that's in the fabric itself to make up the pattern of this fabric. And you can draw out of these colors, take it around and find these colors, and you're going to have it match your quilt perfect. So here, to finish this pattern, I would start out with, look, I cut 8 of each color. I start out with this first. I'm going to do my first row. It's going to be my solid and my white. If I take my white square and sew it on top, sew it straight down the center. Let's say we just pin it so you can see. And we take it and press it back. Then we have our first square. So that's going to be my top. Then my second one, remember, my turquoise, that's my color. And then I need a white. And I take that and do the same. Stitch it right down the center. Then I would take it and go and press it and make sure everything is lining up. And then I would trim the under pieces. I would trim those away. You can trim the one or you can trim both. You just want to make sure that they stay true. Look, when you are quilting, this is meticulous work, for real. Those quilts that I showed were so gorgeous. Then after I pressed that and trimmed that away, I would take my third color, do the same thing, line it up, press it, make sure it's lining up perfect, it's accurate. Then take that, and that's the second piece to my pattern, my 3 colors. Then my last one, again, is my turquoise, which is my print, and then it's my purple, which is my blue. So I just found it easier if I just rewrite it out if it had a color chart already established, so I wouldn't be confused about which one is going where. So this is my first row. I press it. I trim the extra away. And I line it up. And if you look, there's the first row of my pattern from this chart. 1. We would stitch these together at 1/4 inch. Make sure that after you draft your pattern, my 6-inch square needs a 1/4 inch seam allowance around all the pattern pieces. And once I stitch those together, there go my first row. Then I would proceed and do my next row, and then the next row, and then I would sew all of them together. This is going to be so much fun making these quilts. I'm doing some for my granddaughters and my grandsons. I'm just going to make throws just to have a good time, have fun, learn something new. So always take the time to learn something new. Keep that brain alive and keep it fresh. And make sure that you be a blessing. May God bless all your sewing projects. And I hope to see you back here again. And I know that Amber and I, AIBI, are going to get together and do some quilting classes. And I found all these fabrics at Walmart. And they are so reasonable. And just look for something that's on sale. Experiment with some remnants. And make sure you use the chart on the edge of the fabric to help you find the perfect colors. And again, God bless your sewing projects. See you soon. Sew like a pro.